My name is Penelope Santos, and this is my GLP interaction number 1 for the Global Learning Project for TE 150. The person that I have been interacting with is a Jewish girl. She's born in Israel and raised here, but she's very Jewish and really in touch with the culture. My last video, initially I talked about how for me religion was really huge in my culture and my family, and also just food in general. So Allie and I went to coffee at Starbucks and talked, and it was very funny to see the similar things that we had between each other, but also the big differences. As a Christian, I went to a private school. She went to a just regular public school, so our high schools were very different in general, just the interactions. But I used to have chapel every Wednesday in school, and then I had a theology class, and then I also went to church on Sundays. And she's a pretty devout Jew, so she did not go to classes during the week, but on Fridays they would go to the church or synagogue, she said that they called it, and it was either Friday nights from sundown to sunset or Saturday mornings. And for me, the church was more of a service type, like mechanical, and for her, going to the synagogue was kind of like a social experience, and people would all get together and eat dinner together. And she said a typical dinner for her would be like a Friday night at the synagogue, and they would have a Shabbat dinner with challah, she said, was this type of bread that they had. And actually she said she could make it, so that might be a interaction that we do next time. For me, a huge thing was Sundays. We would go to church every Sunday, and then we would have Sunday dinner afterward, and that would be just anything that we felt like making that day. And we would usually come home after church, talk about the service a little, have a kind of a late lunch, and then Sunday dinner was like a really good time of reflection. So it was interesting to see that although we have different beliefs and our practices are not the same, there was still that one day set aside of the week that we enjoyed company with people that practice the same thing as us, and also kind of wanted to experience the same thing. So we would have dinner with talking and kind of just reflecting. So I thought that was pretty interesting. In general, I think our high school experiences were very different, just because I went to a small private school and she went to just a really big, normal public school. But it was cool to see that although she was at that big school, she still kept her beliefs, would go to her practices every weekend with people that she went to school with also that were the same as her, which was kind of how we were. Some people wouldn't always go to church every Sunday, but there was a group of us that did, and we would have dinner after. Just like on Fridays, they would all go have dinner at night, and that was the Shabbat dinner that she was telling me about, and then they would kind of practice that together. So coffee was great, and I'm excited to see, we may go to a service together next week and kind of see our differences and perspective with